Hey there guys, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well and welcome to some more Ark Survival Evolved from the unofficial boosted PvP servers I've been playing on. This will now be season 4 and this time we've gone to the island. It's the only map that I haven't done so far other than Scorched Earth, but Scorched Earth hasn't always been an option on these servers, but I thought it would be fun to get to the island. So in the background here you're going to see me working on my base. Now unfortunately at this point it's actually quite advanced. We've got like a load of turrets up, we've got loads of tames going, and I know quite a few of you like to see the gradual build up and the whole story of how I get to where I am, and I will have that in the next season. I just didn't really want to do it this time because the server came up super late night and me and my buddy just wanted to get on, get building the base, you know, relax and chill kind of thing, because although obviously recording is fun and everything, sometimes you just want to chill with your buddy and just get on with playing Ark and have a fun time, not worry about recording. So yeah, we are at a stage here where we are a little bit more advanced than usual, but there's a whole story to go with what you're actually seeing on screen. It's just a bit of work around the base, and we're going to get onto that in a second. There's a couple of things I want to discuss. First of all, a few of you have been asking about what kind of videos I'm going to be doing with Ark going forward. At the moment I'm really enjoying these unofficial servers, so I see myself playing unofficial for the foreseeable future. There's a slim chance I could go back to official under one of two circumstances. Either one, there is a tribe that asks me to join, maybe for like a raid or just casually, maybe people that I know very well already, or number two, they bring out some new official servers that are really different, maybe boosted and a little bit more fun. Now obviously this does depend on me finding unofficial servers that I like, and there might be a chance that I mix it up trying out different unofficials, but I really like the one that I'm playing at the moment. So this video is actually going to be more of a story time video. It's not really something I do very often. I like to do the live playthrough stuff, which I'm sure you guys probably would rather enjoy, but I'm going to explain to you why I'm going to have to do that for this video in particular. So although I am an experienced YouTuber, we all make mistakes, and I recorded a week's worth of footage without recording the audio of the game. I've been really messing up recently with my audio setup. I've been trying some new stuff to try and make it, well, ironically try and make it easier for me to edit the videos, but sometimes I guess I must have clicked some wrong buttons and I actually managed to mute the in-game sounds in my recording software. So I do have some footage for you from the story so far, however there's no in-game sound, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of backstory and just play some of the footage that I've got over the top. So it starts off on the island. Fresh Wipe decided to go to the snow cave as you're seeing us in here. Now I wouldn't normally go for this location because it is hotly contested, and I was actually on my own when I started off, so I was a little bit unsure about how many people I'd have to fight off, and I didn't want that stress. So the only reason I ended up in this cave is because it reset, well sorry, the server reset at a very quiet time, so there wasn't many people on. With that in mind, when I got here I did still have to fight someone off for the area, and I managed to fight them off, and I was surprised that they gave up so easily because this is obviously a very popular base location. So I did manage to set up in here, and as you can probably see from the footage, we got a nice turret wall going, and I was very focused on getting Velonosaurs very quickly. You might know, as I probably mentioned before, on these servers you get points for playing. You can also be like a VIP to get boosted points. So basically if you just play, after time you'll rack up some points. With those points you can buy any number of things, including tames, gear, you can buy blueprints, you can buy resources if you want all that kind of stuff, and you can buy kits that have pre-made mix of stuff in them. So I wanted to save up my points for Velonosaurs. They are very expensive on here, so it took a while, but I bought one and started breeding as soon as I can, because I know that in this cave having Velonosaurs, and to be honest in any cave having Velonosaurs very well placed, can make it extremely difficult to raid. So things were going great. For the most part we had been left alone here to build up our defenses. Now we did have one tribe come along and try and do some like rocket runs and stuff, and I guess I'll put a little bit of that footage on the screen for you to see. I don't really know what they were thinking. I guess they didn't realize how many defenses we had past here, because I think if they'd known how many defenses we had past the beginning bit they might not have tried. But to be fair to them, at the front here we didn't have a huge amount of defenses, just like 20 odd turrets and a force field, all of which of course was very breakable because we had 6 times damage obviously being in this cave. So these guys didn't actually get very far. They tried some rocket runs, but they couldn't even get past the first lot of turrets. It is quite difficult to rocket run when there are tech turrets especially. Also, I put like plant Z's down. They kept getting trapped in them. So although it was a little something, it was the start of a little bit of a conflict between us. But they didn't get through the first bit. So yeah, nothing really too bad happened. Now, because these guys obviously had a little try at us here, I decided to find out where they were, and it turned out they were actually on the iceberg, obviously over at 1010. So I headed over there, and I'd been over there previously, and I think I'd killed a few tames that were just out in the open, and actually I'd had a little fight with them like really early on, but I didn't realize these were the guys who were trying to rocket run the cave. So when I went over there, I had a look and I actually noticed that they were trying to build a structure that hadn't been finished yet. It was like a dino pen by the looks of it, so I thought I might be able to give it a go and like barrel on top of it and get in there. And as you're seeing on the screen now, I did manage to get in there, and unfortunately for me there wasn't that much in there, but I did have a fun little fight with the guy. I ended up killing a couple of pteranodons, and I guess the beginnings of a war, which is what you want on a server like this. But yeah, it was pretty cool getting in there, and these servers are so strange because obviously once I was in there I could just TP out, but it was a bit of fun. Unfortunately I don't have the audio, as you can see. I'm just playing what happened over this, and it's not quite as epic without the audio, but hopefully you guys still like seeing that footage. I'm really disappointed because it was super fun if you actually included the audio as well, but either way, it is what it is. So at this point we were pretty happy with how the defenses were here at the cave, so we decided to go over to Ragnarok, blow off a little bit of steam and have some PvP. And this is the bit that I'm most disappointed that I don't have the audio for, because this whole like off server PvP was an absolute blast. We spent like 2 or 3 hours over there. We ended up making a little fob as well, and we just fought people. There was people all over the place. It was super busy being the weekend, and there was loads of PvP to be had. So because we did have a good time, what I'm going to do is just put together a little montage now of some of the footage. Like I say, there's no game audio, but at least there's some music to go with it, so you can get an idea of what we got up to. So we had a great time over there on Rag, just letting our hair down, and at this point it was about 1 in the morning. My buddy had to go to bed, so we decided to go back to base, just check in with base, make sure everything was okay before logging off for bed. However, we get back to base and we are being raided. These guys were in the back of our cave with their own turret tower, killing all of the stuff that we'd been breeding down there, and as you'll be able to see from the footage, it was just super strange. Now, having a look at how the whole thing was set up, I was convinced that these guys must have meshed through. They tried to say that they Pteranodon barreled through the cave defenses, but you'll see the cave defenses in this video. Not only is there about 600 turrets in all kinds of positions and angles looking at that entrance, there's also turrets behind the entrance and about 30 Velonosaurs on turret mode. Now, if you've had to barrel through Velonosaurs before, you will notice that it is near impossible. Now, obviously, you never know 100% for sure if someone has meshed or cheated the way in, but it looked very suspicious, and that's what I thought at the time. Now, my buddy, when he saw this, he was like, oh, I think I'm just gonna log off, dude, like, just let them have the rest of the base, we'll start something new tomorrow. But I decided to stay on for a little bit and defend. So they hadn't actually got to the part which was the entrance, which was where our actual gear was, and obviously most of the turrets and the Velonosaurs and all that kind of thing. They were really struggling to get past this area, funnily enough, even though it was way less protected than the front of the cave. So I'm on, all I'm doing is just, you know, jumping on the odd Velonosaur, throwing some more heavy turrets down, just seeing how long I can sit here, because obviously, you know, this is all just easy footage for me. These guys are apparently struggling to get past what is a handful of turrets and some Velonosaurs after they apparently got through 600 turrets and Velonosaurs with one single barrel roll. So you'll be able to see from the footage here, I'm just like using the Velonosaurs to stop them from getting their soak on and all that kind of deal. And yeah, I spent like a good hour or two just sitting here stopping them from getting any further. Now, I was smart about it. I took all of our gear and took it outside and actually put it in some basilisks. You can just buy tames on here once you've got enough points. So I thought, oh, I'll buy some basilisks, through all of our gear, all of our blueprints in there. So even if they were to break through this last section, they didn't really get anything out of this raid other than killing our breeding stuff, which I guess, you know, isn't a huge loss, but I just feel bad for my buddy, because my buddy Drix is the guy who does all the breeding, and, you know, he works a regular 9-to-5 job, so he just plays Ark for fun in the evenings and weekends. He loves breeding, so he spent like all Sunday doing the breeding, and he's just lost it all because these guys, well, seem to have meshed. Now, I know some of you guys are probably sitting there saying, oh, Jay, you know, why are you saying mesh? Just because it looks like it was difficult to do. You know, you're such a bob. It's actually easy, etc., etc. Well, I finished off the defense. They could not get past one person with a few turrets and a Velonosaur or two. So we noticed at that point, they noticed at that point that it just wasn't worth it, and they left. The next morning I came on and I actually asked one of the admins, I say, because they did actually come on the next day and finish off the rest of it. And I said to them, I think we got meshed last night. I went outside. Oh, I don't think I mentioned this earlier. Yeah, while this was all going on, I went outside to see what was going on, if they had a fob or anything. And they had a large teleporter that was slightly under the mesh. Now, if you know anything about meshing, and I hope you guys don't, and I've had to learn recently because people do it on these servers, but these teleporters with the no collision on structures make it quite easy to mesh. Now, you might think, oh, maybe they had a teleporter. In all honesty, there's no need to have a large teleporter on these servers. The small, awesome teleporters are in the map or on the map as a mod, so there's absolutely no need to have a large teleporter outside of our base. Makes absolutely no sense. So that was super suspicious. I did say to them, like, what's the deal with the mesh teleporter and all this? But anyway, to get on with it, because honestly this story is a super long story, and I wish I had all this footage and it was all into one video for you guys, but I wanted to tell it to you because it's quite a cool story. The next day, admin comes on. I say, oh, you know, they finished the job. I've still got our gear. And he said, okay, let me investigate, see if there was any cheating going on. And he actually went on and found their meshed teleporters in the back of our cave. So not only did these guys have meshed teleporters, and it was 100% confirmed that they meshed to get in, which is nice to get some justification because it did look that way. But he decided to obviously ban them, and they'd been meshing other people. Like, while he was actually in spectator mode, he saw them trying to mesh other people, so obviously they got banned. The whole tribe got banned, they got wiped and whatever, which is good. I'm glad that obviously on the unofficials you can have admins come on and check this stuff. At least it's different from official, where you'd have to wait 3 weeks, you never get anything back anyway. So yeah, it was super disappointing to get meshed in that cave. It was a nice setup, I quite like being in there. It's super fun to breeding there, and it would have been a cool place to stay for the whole wipe. So the admin came on and he gave us some gear, basically enough gear gear to start up a new base. Decided to build actually on the twin pillars in the northeast of the map. It's not the best base location or anything, but at the time, honestly, I wasn't even that excited about playing. But because the admin was going to reimburse us for most of our stuff and the structures and the turrets, he actually helped us build our tower again, which was super nice of them. So we do actually end up continuing. You are going to see some more footage from this season. We've got some raids coming up where I actually do record the audio, so that's all good. But I thought I wanted to tell you guys that story because it's such a shame that we did all this ice cave stuff, all the defense and all that kind of stuff, and it'd be a shame to not show anything. So it was cool to show you guys the highlights here. But yeah, that's the story. Be careful of the mesh on unofficials, especially because the teleporters make it way too easy. But the plus side is that obviously you can have the admins come on and see if it looks suspicious. And these guys, you know, they're not the smartest. They even left the mesh teleporters, which was ridiculous. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Got some more action coming up soon where I've been a bit smarter and actually recorded properly. But don't forget to smash that like button if you did enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time.